must have a domain purchase, and the domain have to link to the server. So right now the server is already being connected with the domain, so the website is blank right now. If you look at the file manager, it's blank. So we are going to install the WordPress. So by doing that, we need to head down to cPanel, and then we scroll all the way down, and we will see the icon called WordPress. So we will click on WordPress. So once we head into the WordPress installation section, we click on install. So when you're in this setting, head down to this choose your protocol. So in this stage, we want to select www. So we will go without the secure. We go with HTTP and www. Then we choose the domain. Then we will, in the directory, we want to choose do not have any directory URL which is considered the subdirectory. So we will just leave this blank. Then we will scroll down. In this site name, this is where you can find in WordPress under the general setting, but I will do a 1, 2, 3. So later you will see that this is where you can also change in the WordPress setting. So I'll leave both of this setting here first. And for the admin account, never use the username as admin. So in this case, I will just use the domain name with some title case and some space as the username. Then for password, please define the password that you want. And for the admin email, this is where if there is any updates or on the WordPress, they will actually notify to this email address. And if let's say you want to use your WordPress to send out some notification, so they will also use this email address, which you can still change later if let's say you install the various plugin. So I'll leave this as the default. Then you scroll down, and then you can click install. So once you are during the installation, you will see that there's some error. So you see the installation cannot proceed because the file is already exists. So we will just take and overwrite it. But then we need to scroll down and do a double check again. So you see the protocol has changed. So we will need to change back. And then we scroll down. This is okay. This is okay. And then we click install again. So you actually force install and replace those existing files. So once it's installed, let's take a look at our domain name. We will point to this domain URL, right click and open new tab. So once we open new tab, you can see that the domain right now is without secure, and the website is with www. And this is you see our site title, blog 123. So this is the homepage. So if let's say you want to log in, you see administrator URL, you can actually remember 2 URLs to log in. Let me show you. The first URL will be your domain.com/wp-admin. Another URL to log in actually is this URL will actually redirect. So if I enter, it will actually redirect you to wp-login.php. These are the 2 login you can actually log in, because the wp-admin will actually redirect you to wp-login.php. So even if I remove this and I enter, it will still remain the same page. So if you want to access directly, actually during this installation, the software has been successfully installed. This administrator URL, if you click, it will actually automatic login with including your username and password. Let's take a look. So if I click this, so the system will actually check because you have your username and the password. So you see, you will actually immediately log in into your WordPress admin dashboard. So in this case, for this, there is some notification. We'll just put as dismiss. So this is actually your admin dashboard, the WordPress admin dashboard. So the first step is learn how to do the setup of the initial setting. So let me go with you through what is the sidebar first. So the sidebar, there is a post where you put your blogs, And then the media is where you put your images or PDF file. And page is where your static page, where you want to put such as your about us page, services page, contact us page. And comment is where you have some, you would like to allow some visitor to leave some comment, but of course we can restrict that if you are opening up a corporate website. The next one will be appearance, where you configure your themes, your widget, your menu, okay, and some other HTML setting in terms of editor. And followed by plugins. This is the third-party plugins where you can install some add-on software to boost up your website to look more the appearance looks better, or some other features. And if let's say you got additional user, you can actually add some new user to manage your website. And of course, if you are doing some other classified website, and this is where the user account, where the user registered your WordPress. And the tools is where you can actually import, export data, and of course the new this personal data actually just came out, so you can also export the personal data and erase personal data. So now let's go to our initial setting of the setting of the WordPress. So this setting is where initial stage you need to do. So let me open up all of the various tabs. Okay, let's take a look at the first one. The first one is actually the general setting. So the general setting has this site title, where remember the way you install here is where you can edit. So in this case, let me edit as the website name. The website as the site name. And for the tagline is where your slogan. So I would like to give them a online store in USA. And of course, this is the URL. If you have purchased the SSL, then which is the next module, I will show you how you can enable the SSL. So this is where you change your URL to secure by adding a S over here. But for now, we haven't purchased the SSL, so let's go ahead the next one. So this is the admin email. You can always change. And of course, if you got any your website is actually a membership, you can just have this tick, otherwise leave it as default. And of course, the time zone. If you are in Singapore, you can select by typing Singapore in the country. Otherwise, you can just if you are in US or in any other places, or your time zone you want it to be in various +8 or +0, you can just leave it there. So I just leave it as +0. So followed by your date format and time format. So I'll leave it as default because the setting looks good. Okay, so I'll just press save changes. So in this page, what I actually save, I only change the site title and the tagline. So in the next module, I'll teach you how to change the non-SSL to SSL. So let's go ahead with the writing setting. So in this writing setting, okay, the only thing that we need to do is the last one, the update services. When you publish a new post, WordPress will automatically notify following sites update services, where it will actually do some ping. Okay, ping means actually ping to the various update services, where you can get your posts. You see your new post to rank in search engine better. And if you want to know about all the rest, the writing setting for default post category uncategorized. So if you want to change this post category, it's actually right here, post category. So this is where it's uncategorized. So if let's say post, I want to have them to be my blog, so I can actually put as blog. And for the SLUG, we call it slug, is actually the URL. So whether it's uppercase or lowercase, once you save, it will always be in lowercase there. So if you go back to writing setting and we refresh it, you'll see that the default post category will still be in blog. So it's where you can change your default post category, and the format is where you want to leave it as a standard. And what is the post by email? If let's say you got any mail that you want to, if you got any like a form that you want to send a thank you form, so this is where you need to change your mail server with the login and password. And of course, let's go ahead with the update services. Where do we get a more list of update services? So you can actually go to this website, free WordPress tools, okay, and then you go to the home page first. So once you are in the home page, to copy the code is actually in this area called CODE, code. So you just head on to the code. So to add the pin is under the for SEO, WordPress pin list for faster index of new posts. And this is where you can actually copy. And if let's say, where is this? Is it within there? Yes, you can just Ctrl F5 and you can see it's right here. So you can actually copy the whole thing and replace the existing one. And then you just press Save Changes. So that's it for writing setting. So let's head down to our reading setting. So our reading setting is under the setting, the third one, reading setting. So in this reading setting, if we take a look at our home page, the home page display right now is showing your latest post. So if you scroll down, my latest post is actually showing hello world. So there is a sample post. Where's the sample post located? Sample post located is actually in the post where you can write in this post area, all posts. So let me show you all posts. So in all posts, we have this called the hello world. So if you want your home page to show all the posts, it will just show a list of summary posts. So if you want to have if you're going to build a corporate website, so we definitely do not want to show just purely posts. We want to show like your own banner and followed by what services you have in terms of column, and then after that, whether you want to have a subscription or a box to subscribe newsletter, and that is where we want to change it to a static page. So a static page is where it's a page that you do your editing physically, just a page there, it's not a post. So in terms of static page, let's select our home page. There is a sample page, so we will just go ahead by selecting a sample page. And for the post page, if let's say you want a page to show all the posts, a summary of all the posts, so you can actually create a post page. So I'll leave it as default blank first. Then you can scroll down, and this is where your post page will show number of 10 posts, and the feed that will show most recent 10 items. And in each article, whether you want to show a full text or a summary. So right now the website is very new and we do not want to have the website being indexed in Google. So in terms of search engine visibility, currently we are still under construction, so we will have this tick. So once you tick and you just press Save Changes, the only changes when you press tick, right, is that the writing setting, let me show you the writing setting, the update services will currently be disabled, so you will not have this the ping function. But once you disable the chat box, once you disable, the writing setting will reappear with all the setting that we actually the inputs that we actually saved previously. So for now, our reading setting is fixed just nice, correct. Let's head down to our discussion. So what is actually discussion? And discussion is actually whether we want people to comment your post. And if let's say you are building a corporate website, definitely we do not want any comment. So we want everything by the company, but as a corporate site. So normally I will recommend you to untick the first three. Okay, definitely you do not want to have anyone comment your new post. You do not want to have any other blog to big backlink or traceback or new articles. And you also do not want to attempt a notification of any blog link to or from the article. The next two security to prevent other comment will be the user must register in order to comment. So this is an additional security to ensure that if you want to comment, you must be a user. The next one that I recommend will be, if you want a comment to be posted, always have this check. Comment must be manual approved. So once you check, this is where the setting is good enough, and you can scroll all the way down and you can just press Save Changes. That's all. This is for a corporate site where you want to have these three unticked, and this to be ticked, and this to be ticked. So discussion setting will be just nice, done. So the next one will be the media. The media, actually there's not much of a setting, we can just leave it there. So all this setting is perfectly doing fine, so we can just close it. The next one will be the prima link. So the prima link is a very important initial step, because if you take a look at this prima link, it's a structure of when all the posts that you will have, whether you will show date, in this case the default is year, month, day, followed by your post name. Why? You see the default setting is this. Let me show you what how does it look like. So this is the post. If I press view, you'll see in the URL there is this year, month, and day. So we want to actually remove this, because we do not want to, if let's say it's a corporate site, we want it to have like maybe something like blog followed by the post name. So this is more like a company corporate site, or maybe some corporate site will want to have it to have a press. In terms of a press release, you got any release, you want to put it as a press category. And if let's say you got any e-newsletter, so if let's say there is any e-newsletter, you can actually have a post like this. So in this case, in order to have your category shown right here, okay, right here you don't see there is including any category. So we can actually go into custom structure. So in terms of custom structure, you can remove this and you can have your category post name. So right now our default hello world is having a category of a blog. So once I press save changes, and if I back to my post here, you see if I press view, the bottom left still showing the year, month, day, followed by the post name. If I right click, open new tab, so it will actually change to what I already set the prima setting. So the prima setting right now will be blog hello world. But if let's say in the future you do not want the category and you just want the post name, do take note, if let's say you have 100 posts being posted, that means if let's say in this post, okay, the post area, if you have 100 over posts, more than that, or maybe 50 over, and you decided that you do not want the prima link of this blog, you just want something like this. Let me show you what will cause this to happen. So for post name, there is a direct option right here. So if let's say you choose post name, you do not want the category, and you press save changes. So, and then let me have that block again, and I press enter, you see the changes. It will actually help you to automatically remove, and it will get you the post name. So in terms of search engine, it will still work very fine. But if your default setting was set as post name alone, and suddenly you want to have a category right in the middle, and then when you press save changes, okay, and you take a look at this post name alone, if I press enter, it will end up to be page not found, and it will not do any redirect. So if it's an initial stage, you can, because it's still not indexed in Google, so it's still fine. But assume you have 100 over posts, and you actually have all the 100 posts being Google indexed, and once you change the prima link with the category, that means that you have to do some redirect of all that 100 posts, and in terms of a search engine will be a big hassle. So this prima setting is a very important step to do it at the initial stage. So for now, post and name, if we take a look right here, open up new tab, okay, this will be just nice for a corporate site, because in terms of the normal, if you do not want the corporate, if you do not want the blog category, maybe this is more like a services page, because if you have a services page, then you do not need to have a category, right? So let's take a look. Hello world, open up. Our prima link will be blog hello world. Why? Because category is under blog. And why with the category and post name? Because my prima link right here under the setting prima link, I set as custom structure of category post name, which is located here, category post name, and I have saved. So this is done. So let's head on to our last one, which is the private setting. So in terms of private setting, WordPress has actually created a WordPress private policy under draft. So this is where you can edit the draft, and then you will use this page. So you need to make some editing to the privacy policy. So the privacy policy is all in the page area, and of course your home page. So this is your home page and your privacy policy. So let's take a look. If this is the current home page that shows all the posts, what happens if I select as a sample page? So let's refresh. So sample page will actually show your page title. This is your page title located here. Page title. Okay, so page title will be located here, and then this is the sample page of the page title. So assume that my page, I want it to be in the home page. So I can just do some editing right here in the home page. So I do not want to have my page name as sample page. I will name it as home with the factory, the site name together. Looks, and you will look at the primary link, the URL will be the home page. So in this case, I will just remove everything and have my as a header one. So I will just press update. So once I press update, okay, refresh, you will see that my page title changed and my content. And of course, if you look at here, our site name and our tagline, online store in USA. If you forgot, let me show you back here. It's in the setting, general, right here. And if let's say you are in this area, how do you go back to your admin dashboard? Just mouse over the site name and then you can click on dashboard. So once you back into this admin dashboard, mouse over setting, general. So this is where you can come back. So this is the initial step of setting up the WordPress setting. So stay tuned for our next module.